And back at her. Hellendale Hot Rods. Yours truly, Ward. Today's hopes and dreams are to replace this top panel here. It's not as bad as the other side, but it does need to be replaced. It's a little easier than the other side. I always start with the hard side first. I'm not sure why, but maybe because it gives me good practice, and the second side goes a little quicker. So on the other side, this was all gone too, so I had to kind of do this whole, both these beads and try it. It's a nightmare. It's actually pretty good up in this area. There's starts to be a little pinhole up in here, but shouldn't be too terrible. I'm going to start with a paper pattern. Okay, I'm just getting ready to make this pattern for this area. This is the main rot area here. I normally wouldn't make a a paper pattern for this individual repair, but it's maybe a little hard to see from the camera angle, but it's wider, and then it kind of tapers down to one width down here. It's probably, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch or 7/8, and about an inch up here. I started using old calendars, the commercial calendars you get from suppliers. They're nice because they got kind of the grid on there. It helps you line stuff up. So we're just gonna do the old place it on there, and magnets are your best friend. You get those at Princess Auto or wherever, use whatever. Steal your grandma's fridge magnets if you want. See if she notices. All right. I've already folded it over here. There's a 3/4 inch lip that goes over, that's spot welded on the inside. It's hang on a sec. It's not laying flat here, so I'm gonna have to do some cuts here, and that's your telltale that you're gonna have to shrink this area. But I mean, that's pretty obvious. I'm not really worried about where I have to shrink it. It's just, like I said, this taper up top. So we'll do the old dirty finger technique that I like to do. Works good for me. And it just gives you that nice little imprint. Who said dirt wasn't good for something? I gotta be careful, there's some sharp edges under here. Okay, before the bead roller, we have to pre-stretch it in the English wheel. It's the flat top die and the flat bottom die. It's just when the metal stretches, when you do, especially in a corner, a radius on the bead roller, it tends to warp the hell out of it. It's not much of a curve on this sucker, but may as well throw it in. You kind of hear it crunching. That's it stretching. Doesn't take much. Okay, just gonna run this sucker through the bead roller. I got a set of offset dies Had to do, that was one practice piece. It's a little bit off. This was too wide, so. I just use these little suckers to find the height of the bead. We're good to go. We're just in that area of the radius. I got to round this up a little bit. I'm going to use this one. I turned that on the lathe. It's just aluminum. It works really good. It's such soft material that I'm rolling, so you know, it didn't have to be too hard. Okay, I want to put a little bit of shape on that. So I'm using the polyurethane wheel on the bottom and then this aluminum one on the top. I don't know if you can see, but I have a black line on there. This is pretty helpful when trying to keep your stuff straight. So anyways, I've already, hard to see, I've done a secondary scribed line in the middle. I gotta make this is the bottom, okay? So I wanna, this will be concave right in here. Hopefully it works well. Like I said, it might be one of those moments. Give her just a little bit and see what happens. I always go pretty light on my first pass. Okay, it didn't work too terribly bad, but it's pretty light gauge stuff. You can see I got the that nice little kind of roundness, that tiny little contour there. I'm gonna take it over to the Roadster and see how it matches up. All right, got it in the brake. We're gonna give it a little, not quite a 90. Geez, I hope it works. Got that taper coming down. Yeah. All right, well, the sheet metal's still in its kind of two-dimensional form. Like I said earlier, I have to do some shrinking in this area, just a tad, and obviously some shrinking in this area. I do have to separate these two panels because, as you can see, that goes in there. So that kind of holds up the process a little bit. But in the meantime, I can give it a little bit of shape on the shrinker stretcher. Okay, just gonna give her a little shrinky dinky do here. Got a little more shrinking on one end than the other. Up near the top, it's a little more stretching. See, we're getting a little bit of a curve. Like I've said before, it's nice with the shrinker stretcher. If you shrink her too much, you can stretch it, and vice versa. Getting a little, there we go. You see a little bit of a curve there. Well, did some shrinking and stretching, got a bit of shape in there. Kind of dips down right about here. Like I said, I got to separate this panel and that panel, and then when she's down in there, it'll should come together, and then I can start shaping this area. It's, you know, a rounded type thing. See if that works. I definitely made some headway on the project. So I don't know if any of you guys have taken these bolts out before, but every time I take them out, they're just there's one in a little corner there. It's a hell of a thing to get out, but I was able to take the zip cut up in this area and just shave a little bit until I got the bolt out. So at this point, I can put this replacement panel down and see where I need to shrink or stretch. Obviously, this area, it's got a little more of a dip, so I'm gonna take care of that. And once it's flat between here and here, then I can work on this curve, and then it needs to come towards me a little bit. I can show you in a moment. So I'm going to stretch this part right in there. Just a little, not much. So it's a little better shot. So you can see that it's kind of going wah. It's, I'm building a boomerang. I will do a little bit of shrinking in this area. Alrighty, I got the patch piece in there. Seems to fit okay with my crooked trunk. Sorry, deck lid. I gotta make a little relief cut in here, and I gotta just massage that little line there. This isn't too bad. It's got a little bit of a wow, but I don't know if this thing was in a collision at one time, or this thing is not straight anyways, so quite happy with the repair for now. I might change my mind, I might cut it apart, but there she is. Okay, right now I'm going to tackle this issue right in here. We have our weld gap up in here. It's pretty nice, but right here, as you can see, it gets narrow. So I'm gonna take the little air grinder, nice little thin wheel, and just give her a little slice, and it should lay down in there. I might have to cut these two little spot welds right there, but okay, here goes. Little more slicing. Alrighty, I got that top panel all welded in and mostly smoothed out. It took a little more work than I thought, but this type of stuff usually does. This whole thing was pretty crooked. It's been leaning on its side or both sides or something over the years, but did my best with her. I got a little bit of just a little more gap than I want here, but it's a pretty crooked trunk deck lid. So overall, I'm quite happy with it. It's way better than it was. Just to show you what it was like before. There you go. Geez, I have an abundance of Swiss cheese in my yard, don't I? Okay, so I've taken this repair, made it a disrepair. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If nothing else, we're having fun doing this sort of stuff in our garage during the cold winter months, and sometimes in the summer. So cheers, everyone. Have a great day.